Okay, we are live. Hello, 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 friends. Okay, I'm gonna get logged into the live video here.
Have questions?
No, I was looking for something very specific, and I didn't see it.
Okay.
Call it exactly a mass flat paper.
Well, hi Amber, hi Susan. Okay, you guys. So, today we are gonna play with these reactive inks from Hero Arts. We've done, we carried these a few years ago, and then it was a little hard to get them in because Hero Arts went through, you know, some stuff, and now they're with Spellbinders, so they're easier to get in. But I've actually really liked these inks, okay? They're vibrant, they react with water, they're easy to use, and so we are going to do, maybe we're gonna do this card today, and then we might even do another one, just like a quick background so you can see some of the attributes for these inks. Now they are a pretty nice stamping ink. I didn't grab a stamp, but I will probably look around and see what I can find. And I call them semi-opaque because back when we carried them before, we did kind of a swatch test on black, and they show up, but they didn't show up quite as vibrant as, say, oxides. But but one of their features about that is that they don't have that chalkiness that the oxide can sometimes get, and so the colors, even when you use the water with them, can be can still be very vibrant. Okay, so that's what we're gonna see here. All right, so they only have like these 16 colors. That's it. So you can get all the colors that they have to work with, and it isn't like a huge outlay. That's why we have a bundle price that was in the newsletter. I don't remember what I put in there, but we also have them available in singles if you want them. Let me just go see, because let's see, 47. Okay, so there's a, I don't know, you save what, like, oh, I didn't do the math. Would have been good to do the math, but I didn't do the math. But anyways, I know there's savings in there, probably about 10-12%. Hi, I'm just starting the demo if you want to watch. I'm live. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
it was in person.
Oh, it's both.
Okay.
So,
In person.
yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Oh, no, you can come sit right here next to me. Actually. So Marjane is here. She's going to be my studio audience.
Right.
Yeah. No, we just kind of play it by ear. And so we had some time, so we thought we'd go live too. Okay. So, somehow this was a little dustier. Oh, we embossed yesterday. That's why it's still dusty. Okay. I always forget when I emboss that that stuff gets everywhere. Okie dokie. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some watercolor paper, and the watercolor paper that I'm going to use, it's actually, we were out of Ranger watercolor paper, but it's pretty much darn similar. That's the one that I normally use, is the Ranger watercolor paper. What we want is one that has a smooth side on it, okay? So I'm just gonna put this little plastic down so we have a little bit of a buffer, since my mat here is pretty dirty. I'm gonna have to give it a good clean, but we aren't gonna bother with that right now. So, okay, can you guys see okay? Is it, can you check the video and see, hon, if it's got a little bit of a shadow? There we go. That looks a little bit better, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to work with 4 colors. And in working with these colors, we want to kind of talk a little bit about, you know, color theory, right? We talk about this on various videos from time to time. And one of the things when you are going to be picking colors that are going to be mixing together, okay, is that you want colors that when they hit each other are going to look okay together. So, but we also want a nice little pop of bright color in there too. So that's why we're going to put in the taffy. And the taffy, the nice thing about these sets is they actually come in a really pretty rainbow. They aren't like with the Pink Fresh ones or the Alta New where they're in a color family. These ones are a little bit different, but these are a nice blending set where you would have colors that would go well together. And then same with the blues and the purples. And then you have a couple of greens, but you also have the fog and the root beer, which are nice to have. Okay, so this is a really, really fun one. And you guys, it is gonna look like a hot freaking mess until we finish. So just bear with us and hang in there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our ink cube. And so this particular technique works best with the ink cubes because we're gonna go direct to paper and then we get little bits of color, okay? So I'm just going to, now I haven't used this watercolor paper before, so I'm hoping that this one will do this technique just perfectly. I suppose that I probably should have checked this out ahead of time, but you know, where's the fun in that, right? Okay, so this is a really fun one to do with kids too, because you know, everybody likes to get messy and it's quite easy to just, you know, get some ink on your paper here. Oh, I should probably put some over here too. Okay. Now, I'm actually fairly impressed with these ink pads because I've had these minis for quite a few years and they are looking pretty good. So one of the things that I'm going to do is sort of try and keep my greens kind of away from the pink, but I don't know how well my master plan here is going to work. So we're just going to sort of do what we can. And then stick these greens right in. Get. Hey, Bubs, can you grab me a spray bottle? Okay, a water bottle? Yeah. Okay, so that is what we've got here. Not looking too fantastic, but we'll get there. Okay, so now I'm gonna move this guy out of the way and put the wrong lids on things. Okay, hi there. So now we are going to spray this with water, okay? And you'll notice that the colors are going to start to run together. And all of those kind of wacky hard edges that we had with the ink, they go away because of the water. And so they're starting to like blend into each other. Can you see? Okay. So I'm gonna just take this and sort of mop up this little bit here that's on the side, just so we don't get a bunch of garbage over there. And then we're gonna grab our heat tool and we're gonna get this guy dry. So I'm gonna put my Now with the heat tool, I'm using the high-powered one just kind of to get things going, but just as a reminder, this particular tool can actually like move the water around. I think you guys can see that on the video, but I'm not sure. So, but what's interesting is I think on my original one I used probably more pink, but you can see exactly where those dots of pink are, and they've stood out pretty well. So there are places, and I'll show you once it gets just a little bit drier, but there's places where it has blended with the blues and created almost like a purple. And then the only kind of wacky places is where it blends with the green. However, it's not a bad color. I'll show you guys up close once I get this dry and the water is staying put. So for the step that comes after this one, we definitely want this guy to be dry. Hi. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to dry it on the back side too, because we've got more layers to put on here. But already you can tell from that hot mess that we had, it changed a lot, didn't it? Because it was ugly. Oh, well, it was. Yeah. But this is why this is a fun one to do with kids, or if you have friends that are coming over to craft and they're like new crafters, because it's got a, you know, it's got like a wow factor where you don't have to have a lot of already, you know, already built-in crafting skills. Fun, huh? What's your name? Good, nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. Okay. So, okay, so with the Distress, you can do this same technique with the Distress. These reactive inks, they're just a little bit more bold as far as color goes. So, but you 100% could do the same kind of a thing with the Tim Holtz. You might get a little bit different of, you know, an interaction here, but his are also designed to wick, okay? But the reactive inks from Hero Arts, they have this semi-opaqueness, which helps them really maintain their color. So you could even see, like right in here where the green and the blues mixed, you can definitely tell that green actually held its intensity, which is not usually the case. And actually, this is really fun because I didn't expect this, but see that? It turned almost orange. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's really cool. Okay. So next up, this is a new stencil that we just got in from Hero Arts. And the other day, I think Thursday, I showed you the new Hero Arts dies. Those are the flowers. I couldn't find this sample then, but these are the flowers that I showed you. And these flowers are designed to coordinate with this stencil. They don't have to, but they're designed for that. So next up, what we're gonna do is we're going to take this stencil and we're going to put it over the top of this guy. And then I am going to grab some washi tape and I'm just going to tape this in place because we're going to have to lay down a lot of ink on this and I want to make sure that my things stay put. So let's do, we've got this one and okay, so that looks good. And let's see, I don't know if this is going to be, my tape's going to be long enough, so let's see. Looks good. Is that gonna reach it? Oh, it does, just barely. Fabulous. And the nice thing about this design is it doesn't really have to be straight. That's not too big of a deal. Okay. And then just for fun, I'm gonna tape this on the back side here as well. Okay. So now what we want to do is we're going to take a blending brush and we're going to take our VersaFine Clair. So VersaFine Clair is not one that we use a lot of times for blending with stencils, but you 100% can. Now, that being said, this is a pigment ink, okay? So once I use this brush with the VersaFine Clair, I'm going to either want to wash it or mark it for VersaFine Clair, okay? Just so that I don't accidentally contaminate my black soot distress ink or something like that when I go to do another one. But I do know that this is a really nice black ink, so let's go for it. And it actually, the really interesting thing too is, so remember the other day on the video we were doing the ink on an embossing folder? Did you see, was that, what day did we do that? Was that yesterday or was that Thursday? Oh, I think it was yesterday. But the the nice thing is that of the inks, like if we use the metallic inks in those embossing folders, they can stain the embossing folder, which isn't a big deal, but you know, just something to note. But I have found that the VersaFine Clair, which feels like it's even more black or more colored than a lot of the other things, didn't really stain it. You have to, I mean, get it out of the crevices, of course, but it didn't stain it, which I thought was pretty remarkable. Feels like we're doing a mud mask on our project. It's a spa treatment. Okay, so, and then the VersaFine Clair, it is a fast drying pigment ink. So I'll hold this up so you guys can get just a little bit better of a view here when once I've got this all on here. And we might just go back and see if we can do one more layer, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this is how this turns out. Can you see that? Isn't that cool?
Yucky.
Yeah, well, but what I want you guys to see is that even though the black, you can still tell like where those colors are, okay? And unless you go with maybe like, you could go with a black paste too, you will see just a little bit, you know, of that color coming through. And that's okay because it just is sort of part of how this works. But because it's a fast drying pigment, I am going to go back in. Actually, I'm going to use this to hold stuff down because my fingers will get very, very messy here quickly. Okay, and so I'm going to do another layer of the black just for fun. And this one goes pretty quick because it's already got the black on it. But I am seeing that it darkens some of those areas that we could still see that pink through. I mean, you still see a hue of pink, but this just adds another layer of the black to it. Okay. And I think that's pretty good. All right, you guys ready to see this? Oh, so fun. All right. Let me do, okay, I feel like, ta-dun-dun, oh, brrr. Is that's the drum roll noise, isn't it? Yeah. There you go, there you go. Okay, and look at that.
Ooh, wow.
I know, right? Goes from like super ugly duckling to like pretty fantastic. So, and now when you look at it, you know that when it was on the stencil, you could see like those little bits of pink and stuff coming through, but now you don't notice it. because you actually see the colors. So pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's it for the technique.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's fast too.
You can
Yeah.
dry it.
Yeah. So what you can do too is you can actually
You
do
don't have to stencil flowers. You can stencil
you could do
these.
yeah. But what really pops with this is a reverse stencil. So the reverse stencil is when you look at a stencil, okay, and the ink, the open spaces, the ink goes in the negative space. So what's left behind is a flower shape. So that means that's why our flowers are colorful, because a lot of the stencils are the other way around, where, you know, so, and that's literally, you guys, that's all there is to it. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, I like this one better than my first one.
And the difference is for paper?
Well, definitely different paper, because I think this was the Hero Arts watercolor because it was in the thing. But also, I just put the ink down differently. Maybe I sprayed more water. Maybe I let it blend more. You know, maybe I pushed harder and got more ink on the thing. I don't know, right? But, so anyways, that's pretty cool.
That's it.
Yeah, right? And fast. So, all right, you guys, thanks for joining me. And we will talk to you guys all later. Or should we do something else? No.
It's your show.
Yeah, we'll call it a day. Bye.